Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Got the weekend vibes going on, and we're using the Rebel deck again. Get our topic for today. Let's see what we have got. Hope everybody's in the receiving mode, just flowing, waiting for those blessings. We have You look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. you know. Speaking of receiving, that actually could really help with that. One of the things that blocks our ability to receive is when we have too much shit already. And, you know, things pile up. It's easy to do. We tend to value the things that we have spent money on, even after they no longer bring value to our lives. You know, like the wardrobe that you haven't touched in 3 years, but you don't really want to give it away because you spent money on it, but you can't wear it or you don't like it. Or the third set of plates that you have in your cabinet because you know that shit costs money. And if you are if your space is overflowing with stuff, then there's nothing. What are you going to put what you receive? And one of the things that energetically, again, if you are cluttered to the max, there's nowhere for you to receive. Even the energetic flow is stagnant. And when we're talking about working with the universal laws, we have to create space in our lives for the things that we want. Because if we don't have the space for it, we're not going to get it. We're already stuffed full. Emotionally, too. A declutter is like, it can be a holistic thing, and you will literally feel the difference. It's so amazing what happens when you free space in your mind, in your home, in your life, in your schedule. When you have space for things to flow, oh my gosh, that is amazing. And I think we live in a very materialistic society. We live in a society where whoever has gotten the least amount of sleep, has the most things to do, and whose life is the most chaotic wins. No, God, no. That is the antithesis of winning. Because my feeling on that is, if I have free time to enjoy the things that I want to do, and I can rest and relax and replenish myself, um, that's winning. I like to sleep. And I stayed on that rat race hamster wheel for years, not realizing that, oh my God, you know what? It doesn't matter what society I live in. I'll let them stand over there and talk about who's got it worse. I don't want any part of that. I don't want a life like that, and how much better it feels to not have so much shit. I don't want to have to clean an enormous house. I don't want to have to take care of way too much furniture. My God, because if you only have what you need, and I'm not talking about like bare minimalism, it's just the things you need and use. That simplifies life in so many ways. Have you ever opened a closet and had just all kinds of shit fall out? You never want to open that closet. It doesn't matter what's in there that you need, you don't want to open it. Or, you were going to save the leftovers, but when you open the kitchen cabinet and you just looked at the disaster of Tupperware containers, storage containers, whatever you want to call them. I know Tupperware. I keep saying I date myself every time I use a reference. You look at the storage containers and it just looks like, okay, I just don't have the time right now. Clean that shit out. Take the time. And I know I just presented you with the closet that everything falls out of. Well, let everything that falls out start the process. Um, when you make it easy to use your space, you don't lose things. You don't have to wonder, well, I know I had one of those. Where did it go? Well, get rid of all the shit you don't need and you don't use. One, then you've opened up space to receive. Two, Your day-to-day life is so much easier when you're not trying to dig through the back of your closet to find that one thing that, has been back there for 10 years. And by the time you get everything dug out, it may not even still be there anymore. It's hard to remember what you did 10 years ago. Your mind releasing, releasing baggage, releasing the old stale bullshit that we all carry. It's packed back here. And you can actually look at releasing ceremonies. There are a lot of ways to do this. Personally, I like the burning method, where any of that old garbage, old hurts, old wounds, old thoughts, old beliefs, all whatever you've got going on in there, write it down. Write it down right until you just feel empty. And then burn it. Take it outside and burn it. Let it go. Watch the smoke drift up to the universe like, not mine anymore. See you later. Not my baggage. Donate. You know, I know here locally we have shelter. They have a men's shelter and a women's shelter, and it's kind of like Goodwill, where if you donate things to them, they sell that and use it to fund the shelter. So your shit that you're not using can actually do something good in the world instead of just rotting in the depths of your house. Declutter. Clean yourself up. It truly will change your day to day. And we're talking about, changing our daily habits, making a commitment to ourselves to take steps every day to make our lives better, make ourselves better, make our space better. Little small daily steps. If you take one extra thing out of your house every day, you're making space. Once you get it organized, it's easy to maintain. And there are different ways of doing that. You can do the one thing in, one thing out method, where like if you want to buy a new chair, then the old chair's got to go instead of just piling up chairs. Or clothing is one of the ways that this gets so out of control. If you replace a pair of jeans, throw the old ones away, donate them, whatever. But we've got to learn that we are not created to need, we have one body, we have 2 feet, and how many of us actually, like you buy a vacation wardrobe, you buy an evening out wardrobe, you buy a work wardrobe, and then you change jobs and you don't need that anymore, but it's still there. And yeah, you went on the vacation to the Bahamas several years ago, but you don't even wear that size anymore, but you hate to get rid of it. It is such a weight off when you finally unburden yourself from all the stuff. Have what you need, have the things that make you happy, but draw the line when you start to burden yourself. And it's the same with our emotions, with our thoughts. Unclutter your body, your spiritual body, your mental body. Work through that, process that out. And it doesn't have to be a real in-depth thing. We've talked about how to change your thoughts, how to rewire your neural connections. And once again, it's an undertaking when you start, but then it's just maintenance. And the more of the clutter you can get rid of, mental, physical, emotional, the lighter you feel and the less you feel like you need these things. Ask yourself why you feel like you need all of this stuff. Most of us, it gives us a feeling of security. Well, I have all this stuff. But it's not really secure. Anything material can be gone in an instant. When we can address deep down, why are we pursuing all of these material things? Am I trying to impress other people? Am I trying to feel like I'm successful? What feeling does this bring me? And do that when you're shopping. You want this item. Why? What does it represent to you? And there are a lot of things that I purchase that it's just like, that's funny and I like that. That's it. But there was a time when I would look at clothing and ask myself what other people would think of me wearing that, if that makes sense. It wasn't about what I liked, it was what I was going to project. And so I had a whole closet that didn't reflect who I was. And it was all about what was trendy, or, where was I going to hang out that night, and what group would I be with, and what would be most impressive to them. And I accumulated all this shit. And now I don't care what the trends are. I don't care what would impress other people. I want to be surrounded by things that I like, that I need, that I use, that matter to me. Other than that, don't need it. But it took me figuring out what drove my need to have these things to let them go. So, you look like a shit show. Not really. You're gorgeous. You're amazing. Clean yourself up. You will feel so much better freeing up that space in all areas of your life. Clearing up your schedule. Say no. The most successful people say no more than they say yes because they realize their time is valuable. If we are too busy running, we have no time to think anyway. We never make progress because we're just blah. So let some of that shit go. Free yourself. Freedom, to me, is like the most valuable thing you can have. Time freedom, financial freedom. That's like the ultimate dream. And so, anyway, I hope that helps. I get off on tangents, but truly, when you can organize your life in a way that brings you joy and peace in your surroundings, in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, your entire life changes. And that is something you can't put a price tag on that shit. So, to your future peace, hopefully today you can commit to one thing that you're going to declutter. That momentum will get you going and you'll be on a roll. You will start throwing shit away that you swore you'd never get rid of because it feels so good to have space. So, I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.